Mooseman, 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 Mooseman. Mooseman! 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 Your father get born. What was he born in?
Chicago. No, he was born in Chicago. You know, he was raised in Arkansas.
So he was born in Arkansas and he was raised in Chicago.
Yeah, because he's got that Southern mentality from what he told me. So yeah.
Okay, excellent. So do you remember like the year and everything when they moved to Chicago from Arkansas?
I just know he was telling me that when they lived in Arkansas because of whatever the case may have been, you know, as far as, you know, discrimination and all this and that. So what he told me, from what I know, I can't bank on whatever anybody else know about my dad. This is what he told me. So he had to migrate to Arkansas. They all migrated to Arkansas, and they end up in Chicago. And they lived in a house project called the Henry Horner Project.
Okay, so they moved to the Henry Horner's projects. From there, did he go to school around there? What school did he go to?
He went to Brown School. His mama was a Brown School teacher. My grandma Bessie was a Brown School teacher.
So did he grow up with a mom and dad in the house, or how was his, you know, when he was coming up? Did he have a, you know, mom and dad?
Yeah, his mama. You know, his dad. He was in the war, and he collected veterans checks. And his dad died. This is all from what he told me. So.
Facts. You know, so from him growing up in the Henry Hornets, did he ever express how it was for him growing up in those times? You know, with him going to school and like, can you elaborate a little on that?
Yeah, he told me he had to protect his sisters. He was the only boy at the time. My uncle Mookie wasn't born yet, and he had to protect his sisters at the time. And that's how he developed to what he developed into, because he was protecting his family.
So it was a lot of racism and things of that nature back in those days?
It was not even just racism. It was just people in the neighborhood. You know, they living in the projects. You know, he wanted to make sure his sister, nobody was trying to, because they was doing a lot of messed up stuff back then. You know, he didn't want nobody to harm his sisters or rape his sisters. I mean, R-word his sisters. I don't know how they do it on Instagram. But he didn't want that to happen. So he did and decided to do what he decided to do to protect his family.
And that's real. So from going from that elementary school, did he go to high school?
No. He dropped out at 6th grade.
He dropped out at 6th grade. So can you elaborate on what happened in that time period that made him want to drop out?
Because he was being a badass kid. And if he was alive, he'll tell you the same thing I'm saying, exactly how he would say it. He was a badass kid. He dropped out at 6th grade. He was protecting his family and sisters, because he had a lot of sisters at the time. He was the only boy at the time before my uncle Mookie came. You know, he was the only boy. He dropped out. He wanted to protect his sisters. He dropped out at 6th grade. For whatever reason, I still don't know to this day, he got into a whole lot of fights. It was a lot of fighting going on. And my daddy looked older than he was. He was, you know, in 6th grade, he didn't look like he was a 6th grader. He looked like he was more of a 21-year-old. So, yeah.
Okay, I got that. So he didn't graduate. He uh left school at sixth grade. What was the next step in his life? What was he doing after that?
He was banging.
And so he started. Okay, so what age did he start? Just banging.
When he dropped out of school, that's when he was banging.
At sixth grade. So wait.
You gotta
So
understand. Let
exactly.
me paint you a picture. You gotta understand.
Go
Back
ahead.
in them days, there's not like the days that we live in, the times that we live in now. It was totally different. It was totally different. With that being said, it was like what he told me. This is what my daddy told me. He had to protect his family, and to protect his family, that's what he did. So, however he protected them, that was his reason why he dropped out. It was a
Mm,
totally different type of thing. And he was telling us about how the racism thing happened with the bridges. Like, okay, you can be right here, you got black people. Then you can be right here, you got Mexicans. Then you could be right here, you got white people.
mm,
Chicago Avenue
mm,
Police, all that. So it's like
mm,
they have to, mind you, my father from the west side. And he will tell anybody that. He from the west
mm.
side. So with that being said, when he did what he told me when I was growing up, what he told me, they had to maneuver because of racism. And the reason why he dropped, this is what he told me, he was protecting his family. So with that being said, that's all I got to say about that.
That's real. So, what was he banging at that time? I mean, what was the
He
name of
wasn't banging
his
them.
clique or his
They used to
school?
call them, I'm sorry,
Can you say that again? They used to call
my
themselves
phone, I
what?
don't know why people calling me. Hold on, give me a minute. Gangster Stone Macketeers. That's what they used to call themselves. That's what they used to call themselves back then. That's what I was told from my father.
Mm,
I gotta reiterate
mm.
that so people won't be like, oh no, no, no. I'm telling you what was told to me from the horse's mouth, which was my father. And he's told me they were called Gangster Stone Macketeers.
Mm. So, Gangster Stone McAteers. So that started in the Henry Hornets.
Yes.
Okay.
Him and Diablo, his best friend.
So Diablo was his best friend. So where did he meet Diablo at?
Well, I wouldn't know that. You will have to ask Diablo family that because I would not know that. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know
Okay.
that part.
hmm
I never knew that part.
Okay. Understandable. So, so his best friend was Diablo. Did he have any other close
Absolutely,
friends, other than Diablo?
absolutely, yes. Ringo, Ringo was one of his best friends. Diablo, Carl. I can't think of the other brother name, but yeah, Foj, Junebug. Those were
Mm-hmm.
all my father's best friends
Okay.
that I'm aware of. Yes, absolutely. Quabini,
Okay. Okay.
Quabini, but that was family. So Quabini, it was not like that was that's family. But if best friend is concerned, Quabini as well. Yes.
Mm. Okay. So, somebody in the audience say, wasn't Moose the supreme gangster in them days too?
I can't speak on that. I will not speak on that.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't.
I won't speak on that.
That. Yeah, that was just a question. From the people in the
Yeah, I guess you
audience.
can get
So,
in.
yeah. So, with that being said, so what? After he went from the Henry Hornets, how did he go to the South Side of Chicago? What's the connection?
His mom moved to.
South
She
Side.
got them a house. She got them a house on the south side, on 104th and Corliss.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm.
My grandmother.
Okay. Wow. So, when they moved to that area, did he ever express that it was a difference from the west side, than the south side when he moved? Did he? Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, I can. I can elaborate on that. Um, My father, from what he told me, let me make that very crystal clear. This is all from word of mouth from my father, not from a personal stance from me. It's all from what I was told. Um, from what my daddy told me, my daddy was a rebel. Let's be clear. Okay. And when his mom moved to the hundreds, it was GDs over there at that time. So my daddy had an ego. He was an Aries. Okay. So he, from what he told me, he was strong arming people, get down or lay down type of stuff. And he made that set a Mooseman in the hundreds because he already had the Hornets. He already had that. Him, Junebug, you know, Foj, they already had that. So once they moved to the hundreds with my grandmama Bessie, from what I was told from my father, he was on some get down or lay down type of deal with the GDs that was over there at the time. And at that time, it was just, you know, a lot of GDs around. And a lot of GDs flipped to Gangster Stones. From what I was told.
So, right. So I mean, you know, these things are known. So at what point did that area become the Mecca? Was that right when, you know, he got there, or when did that area get that name, the Mecca? Because when I was growing up, I remember a lot of brothers used to call 104th and Cottage Grove around that area the Mecca. You know, so when did that become the Mecca?
You just answered your own question. When he was over there. It would never become a Mecca if he wasn't over there.
Right, but I'm saying,
he was strong arming people and doing that get down or lay down type of deal, like that Benny Siegel movie, that State Property. That was one of my dad's favorite movies, actually. So I'm just saying. And he was doing what he was doing at that time.
Okay. So
when,
let me just,
like, a lot of people from the South Side, they consider 104th the Mecca because what my dad did, because my grandma Bessie moved to her house. Mind you, my daddy already had the Hornet. He already had it. Him and Junebug, Foj, and other brothers I'm not gonna mention because I don't recall their names, but they know who they are. Excuse me. And yeah.
Okay, so that was, I was trying to get some clarity on when I asked you.
Started in the hundred. I mean, Henry Hornet started in the GS started in Henry Hornets, right, Mama? Yep, it started in the Henry Hornet.
Okay, but that was I was trying to get some clarity on exactly when did it become the Mecca. You
when
know,
he moved to the hundreds.
Right. Okay, and he developed the Gangster Stones in that area.
No, the Gangster Stone was developed in the Hornet.
Yeah, but I'm saying that when he developed them.
21. Okay, I get you. Yeah, when they was out south.
Yeah, that one I'm saying.
Like
that
as
one
far as
became,
like with Gangster Stone is concerned, me personally, I don't feel like I have the liberty to speak on certain type of things as far as that, because people get so in their feelings about certain things. So I would not like to relay on that type of topic because I don't want nobody feeling the way.
That definitely understood, and you know, at the end of the day. So, you know, if you can just elaborate on, you know, what type of person your dad was, you know,
Absolutely.
Those terms.
Yes, my daddy was funny as hell. He would roast the shit out of you, you know, and he used to roast me and tell me, look, they gonna roast you in school, so you might as well just take this shit and just deal with it, because they gonna do this shit to you in school. And he was loving, he was understanding. You could talk to him about anything, and he was just a very caring person.
That's real. You know, um, did he ever speak about his relationship? You know, with how did he ever get in? I don't know if this is what you can speak on or not, but like, how did he ever get in contact with Chief Malik? How did he How did they even run
Well,
into each other?
CSA started because it was. I can't get into that. I won't get into that because it's a lot of
Hmm.
conflicting views with that.
Okay, well, can you speak on how he felt about Chief
He
Malik
loved
just
him.
for you know?
He loved him.
Right.
He loved him. I used to write the chief for my father. I was the only person that could write the chief for my father because you just have to write. You have to write the chief a certain type of way, so they won't stop his communication. And I used to have to write the chief for my dad, and he loved Chief Malik. Absolutely.
Mm. So when did he become a Muslim? Was that in his household? I'm talking about your dad. Was he, with that tradition? Like that's the culture in y'all family of being
What? No, no.
Muslim, or when did he accept being a
Okay. With
Muslim?
that being said, my daddy, just because he was a Muslim, he never felt like, look, because I'm this, you got to be this. No, he never was like that. If I wanted to be a Christian, I could be a Christian. If I wanted to be a Muslim, I could be a Muslim. But he never delegated with that.
Mm.
But
Okay.
he
So
he believed in his beliefs, but he never pressured that on
on
me.
on his kids, yeah, that's real. So do you know when he accepted Allah in his life?
No. Do you know when
Mm.
he accepted Allah? Do you know when Dura accepted no.
Mm. So can you elaborate, on what, him being a founder of Gangster Stone, can you elaborate on what Gangster Stone meant to him? You
It meant
know.
a lot to him because he loved what Chief was doing as far as around that time when the riots was happening and people was fucking up their own cities, fucking up their own little areas and stuff. And mind you, my father was still, even though he lived outside, but he was west side to, he was a west sider. Like he'll tell you
Mm.
all day he a west sider. But at the end of the day, his mom lived on the south side, his sisters lived on the south side, they lived on Cottage Road, and he really respected that aspect. And whatever Chief saw in my father, whatever, I don't know what they are. That's what, they can only talk on that. My daddy no longer
Hmm.
here. She could elaborate on that. So, um, whatever that concept was with them, whatever Chief saw with my father, he loved it, and they kept in communication all up until my father died. And
Mm.
that's true story because you know why it's a true story. I have paperwork to prove it because I was the one writing him for my father
Mm.
because he taught me how to do it.
That's real right there. Did he ever, speak on some of the things he wanted to change, in his community and some of the
Absolutely.
things he wanted? Yeah.
He
Oh.
just didn't. He could not. He did not like the fact when ones was fighting. It didn't like. It didn't even matter what um what tribe you was from. You could be a BD, GD, whatever. He did not like the fact when ones was fighting or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He didn't like that because my daddy was in tune with everybody. Vice Lords,
Mm.
GDs, BDs, all of them. My father was a part of all of that. He was in tune with everybody. He used to tell me, Kat, you don't know who I know. And when he showed me who he knew, I was shocked. Type stuff.
Mm. That's real right
He
there.
always wanted
So
unity. My father was about peace. He always a peacemaker. He always wanted peace. Always. He didn't want chaos or confusion. He did not want that. He wasn't about that type of life. He wanted peace. Period.
mm, that's real right there. So, with that being said, as far as your father, what's some of the things he liked to do? Did he like fishing? Did he like to bowl? Did
Okay.
he,
He
what
liked
music
to
he like?
roast. He liked to
Okay.
talk about you.
Okay.
That was a thing for him. That was his shit. He would talk about you till your drawers came off. Okay. What else? He liked to eat,
Mm.
cook. He
Okay.
taught me how to cook. That's how I know how to cook, because my daddy. Okay. Um, what else, mama? Huh? He loved to go to the reunions. He loved to go to old school Sundays. He loved that.
Mm.
He just liked to see everybody happy. You know, he loved to see happiness. He loved that.
What was some of his favorite music?
He loved old school music, especially what's his name? Huh? Michael Jackson,
Mm.
Sam Cooke. What's that white the one that look like a white man? No. Tears of a Clown. Smokey Robinson. That was his name. He liked the
Mm.
Marvelettes, cause
Mm.
that was his woman, Diana Ross. Oh God. so he would have me cook, and I have to listen to the shit. You know, we have to listen to it while I'm cooking. He made me cook every Sunday.
Mm.
He liked Hitler
That's real.
movies. He loved Hitler movies. He loved anything that was gangster, even though he did not like. Let me make this clear. He did not like the mob, but the only mob person he did like was Al Capone.
Mm.
Period. He did not like no mob at all, because he said they was some spaghetti eating punk mother. Yeah. And they
Mm.
always had a thing out for black people, and he did not like that. So, but he liked
Understood.
the only mafia person he liked was Al Capone. That's it. So I'm gonna say that from what he told
Okay.
me.
Understood. At the end of the day, uh, what's some of the things that you would say some pivotal points in his life, that people might not know about. Your dad life is kind of sheltered. A lot of people don't know a lot of things about your dad. So, what's some things, some things you could speak on that occurred in his life, some pivotal moments, and memories and things that meant a lot to him that people might not know about.
Okay. Well, my father was very family oriented. Very family oriented. He was very big on that. And he wanted his family to always be together. From
Mm.
like, that was like a big thing for him, like his family. He didn't care about nothing else. Like, he was a really big family oriented person. Like, if I didn't go nowhere, my son would go. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really was big on family. Like, he was big on family. Period. I don't know if anybody knew that about my father, even though my father had a lot of adopted people as his family. But his actual family, his blood family, his actual people that has his bloodline, he was big on that.
Mm. Mm. That's real, right?
He
Yeah.
was very family oriented. Period. Point blank.
Mm. Did he ever express to you any stories in regards to him going to jail or his prison stories or
He
anything
never
like
wanted to
that?
talk about that.
Mm.
He
He
said
always
if
wants to leave it in
you
the
know what he
past.
told me in confidence?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I love your mama, because if it wasn't for her, I'll be locked up, because I gotta think about taking care of you.
Mm.
I don't even think my mama know that. But she right here, she hearing it for the first time. And yeah. That's the only prison story I know about my daddy. Because he
Mm.
never, he said, if I talk about stuff, I don't want to put that in the ethers. I don't want to put that out in the airwaves. So I'm not going to talk about it. So he never, the only thing he did express to me was he was happy that my mother made him raise me, because he probably would still be locked up if it wasn't for my mother making him raise me. That's the only thing I know he did tell me. And that was in
Mm.
confidence with me and my father. Yes, absolutely.
Wow. That's amazing. I take my hat off to him for, wanting to step up and be a father, real talk. That's real right there. You
He
know.
moved differently. He said he got to move different. Da, da, da. He and my father, he went to jail on a discrepancy with my brother, my older brother, because
Mm.
they share the same name but just a different last name. And I told my daddy we need to sue them because my daddy was going through his, my daddy had diabetes, and he was he had diabetes, and we had to go up there on 50. Even though we lived across the street over the bridge from there, and they locked him up because they were looking for my brother Nuki, but
Mm.
they just had the same first name, not the same last name. But when they took his ID, mind you, I was in school, I was in college. So I was in college, I was in class when I found out my father was locked up. And we had to go across the street to get my daddy out of there. And we could have sued they bitch asses for what they did to him. And it was a discrepancy from a child support case in Michigan for my brother Nuki. It had shit to do with my daddy, but when they ran his name because he is who he is and he was who he was, they automatically took him in. And
Mm.
I had to leave class that day. I will never forget that day. And I had to leave. We stayed in the fucking right there on over there on print on Whitworth. The 51st over there. And
Yeah.
I was
Washington
over there for
Park.
5 to 6 hours. I was right there for 5 to 6 hours to get my
Mm-hmm.
father out of jail for something he didn't fucking do. They was looking for
Mm.
my brother for a fucking child support case, and they weren't even my fucking dad. Sorry.
Wow. That's crazy.
And I stayed there, wait till he get out. I was there the entire time, had to get him out. Da, da, da. Yes, I was there. It was me.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. You
And it's
know,
like when I
uh,
hear certain things with people when it comes to my daddy, don't fucking play with me. Because I was there. Okay? Don't fucking play on my top like that. Because I was there. I got shit. I got fucking shot up for shit. Like, they got me fucked up. Period. I'm sorry.
mm, nah, you good.
When I
You
lived
know,
on 90th and Escanaba, when them niggas thought they thought they had a fucking mark ass bitch and they seen I wasn't the one. That's when this came into fruition. A fucking grace, these punk ass bitches. Sorry. I'm sorry for cursing.
nah, you good.
My mama
Flacco
telling me to
Santana
stop
TV is
cursing.
off. Okay, okay. Well, you know, that's deep right there.
I'm just being
When
honest.
it,
I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
That's all I'm trying to do. Just be honest in this interview. And I appreciate you for letting it come out. So I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you ain't got to apologize because that's what the people, they want to hear the real, see the real. They want it raw as well. So you ain't saying nothing wrong or did anything. You on point. You know,
Thank you.
with
I
that being
appreciate that.
said, yeah, no, you good. So with that being said, from going from uh, when did your dad move from 104th and Cottage over there in that area? When did he relocate? Or did he
He was
always stay
locked
over
up.
there?
He
Or
was locked up.
okay, so he got locked up, and then did he return back to over there, or where did he go
Oh,
after that?
he started living over there on Cottage, on 90th and Cottage. Around,
Mm,
because his ex-wife, my step um my step mother, and they had to when he told, this is what I'm just only going off of what my father told me, when he was locked up, she got divorced from him
mm,
because they could get a free divorce with somebody locked up. This is what I was told. And once she got divorced from him, her mom, his ex-wife's mom, got him a place because she knew the landlord. This is what I was told. This is what I was told. She got him a place over there on 9th in College Grove, and that's when he.
Okay. Well,
And
I
somebody
heard
said,
that.
"What
Yeah.
did Moose think of Larry Hoover?" He did not think nothing ill about him at all. He never did not think bad about him at all.
So that's real right there. Like you say, he didn't feel no type of way about Mr. Larry Hoover.
He didn't.
When did so from because I heard that he stayed in Motown. Was that true? Your dad ever
That's a
stayed?
lie. That's a lie.
Okay.
That's a lie.
Okay. So right. So he
Yeah.
never stayed in Motown.
No, he did not fucking stay in no damn Motown.
Okay. That's real. That's good. That was cleared up. Because people were saying he went from the Honeys to the Motown. So that's good that was cleared up. So so after he actually stayed on 90th, what was the next steps in his life? Because we just trying to give a breakdown of his life and things of that nature. So what happened? After that.
We end up moving. He ended up moving on 71st and King Drive. Like when he lived there, he was doing his thing, and my mama made him raise me because she made me go with him, and then we ended up on 52nd and Wells.
Okay. Got you. So so after the 52nd and Wells, what was going on at that time period in his life? Your dad, at that time on 52nd.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was saying at that time, what was going on in your dad's life on 52nd and Wells?
Somebody said I heard he stayed in the south. Yes, he stayed in what's that south suburb? I can't think of the name right now. Robbins. He stayed in Robbins. Absolutely. He did stay in Robbins. Yes. He stayed in Robbins, but he still was who he was. Regardless of what. Give me 1 second. Hold on. 725.85. So somebody came for my sister. Anyway, yes, he did stay in Robbins. Until his death. Thank you. So yes, he did stay in the south suburbs. He stayed in Robbins. He did stay with my auntie Angie for a brief moment until he moved to he lived in Burnham, and then he moved to Robbins. So yes, he did stay in the south suburbs. Absolutely. So whoever this person is, yes, you heard correctly.
Yeah, so was your dad a big reader? Was he into reading and things of that nature? What was some of the
He
things
was
your
a
dad was
big
into?
person as far as looking at animals. Animal Planet. Look, my son right here, he laughing because he used to have us watch Animal Planet all the time. And my father used to tell me, he said, Kat, you need to learn things about different people. So that way you can have a conversation with anybody. So if Indians, Japanese people, learn their history, learn who they are. So that way Caucasians learn their history. So that way you can always have a conversation with anybody.
That's
I
real.
can talk to anybody thanks to my father because of that. Yep.
Oh, they asked, did your dad know Booney Black?
I don't know.
Okay. So you say
did he know Booney Black? I think he did. My dad knew a lot of people. He used to tell me, Kat, you don't know who I know. My dad knew a lot of people that I didn't even know. So he probably did. I never heard the person's name was brought up in a family function or anything. But if he did, he probably did. You know.
Okay, so the now we finna take a trip, and just you know get into, because you already stated that your dad, he returned back to the essence in Robbins.
He lived in
What
Providence.
he lived in Robbins, and that was, yeah, he lived in Robbins, and that way he returned, in Robbins. Correct.
You mean as his transition?
Yeah.
He transitioned to south suburbs. He never left the hospital.
Mm. So what exactly, if you don't mind, what was the cause of his death?
Can I not?
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
just say it was natural causes.
Understood. Who was some of the main people at that time when he was going through, medically, his medical conditions? Who was some of the main people that was there? You
Me,
know.
me, my ex-husband, Warrior, me, my ex-husband, my mother.
That's it.
If some sisters that was too, Samara, Robin. That's the only people that I know that my daddy referenced stuff to me.
Mm, okay.
That was it. Those the only people
That,
that I know of from
mm,
what my daddy told me. Mind you, I lived in Arlington Heights, Illinois at the time. That's
mm,
damn near 2 hours away from Chicago. That's damn near 2 hours away from Robbins. That's a south suburb. I lived in the
facts.
northwest suburbs. So the main people that I know of that had my father back was my ex-husband, Warrior, myself, of course, my mother. He told me Robin, Samara, those are the sisters. And that was it. I didn't know nobody else. That my dad never mentioned nobody else to me. He didn't.
Mm. They asked what was Malik family there for him.
Oh, my brother
That,
Amir, of course. Duh. My brother Tariq, and that's it. Those are the only
mm,
people that I like I said I'm aware of.
right.
I
Understood.
can't speak on people that I'm not aware of. What I
Mm,
was aware
mhm.
of, it was my mom, myself, my ex-husband, Warrior, his sons, Tariq, Amir, uh, Robin, and Samara. That was it. That's the only people I know that I was aware of.
Mm. So, in those times, what was some of the, biggest things that he was? What was his state of mind? What was his
He
state of
was
mind?
very
What was he
upset.
saying?
He was very
Mm-hmm.
upset. Very upset.
Mm.
Because I lived the furthest from everybody, the furthest. And I was the main one that made sure me and my ex-husband, Warrior, and my mother were the main people that made sure he was straight. I'm just being honest. If I
Mm.
That's just the truth.
That's real.
Shame them.
So what you say? Your ex-husband Warrior was Warrior close to your dad?
Very close to my father. Absolutely.
Can you
Absolutely.
can you elaborate a little on how they
He was my
became close?
husband. My mother introduced me to him.
Mm.
And he always was there. He was like hand and foot for my dad. That's just the truth. And I don't
Mm.
give a damn who don't like it. Because I was there. I lived it. I experienced it. I was there.
Okay, so
If
Warrior
anybody
and
got a
your dad
problem with it, they
developed a
can call my
relationship.
phone and hit my line.
Mm.
Oh, and Herb. Rest in peace, Herb.
Mm.
Ringo, of
Okay.
course, Ringo. My mama, she tidied me up. You know, Ringo, Herb, Diablo, of course. We gotta make sure we say that. I'm sorry, Diablo, Ringo, Herb, rest in peace. They are are resting in peace right now.
That's
So
important.
Diablo, her, Ringo, absolutely. They were like, besides me and my, the intermediate family, besides us, it was
Mm-hmm.
them. And we look at each other like
Understood.
family. Yep. I already told you my brother, and that was it.
Mm.
Demetrius,
That's
Khalif, King Khalif, Demetrius, Ringo, Diablo, me, Warrior, my mom. Uh, who else? Who else? Do you think of anybody else? I
mm.
can't. I can only
So
think of stuff people that I know of. I can't speak on nobody else. I can only
right.
speak on what I know. My mama had to correct me, like, no, look, these people too.
That's
They
right.
help too. You know.
That's real. So I mean, when I mean, where was you at when he made his transition? Was
He
you
was in
on right next
the
to him, or
hospital.
mm-hmm, and you
He
was
was in
right
the.
there with him?
My daddy used to say this. He would never want to die in no hospital.
Mm.
He ended up dying in the hospital. My
Wow.
mother got him a new place, a bigger spot in a building he was living in. He was living in Robbins, and she helped him to get a bigger place because she helped him get the place in Robbins, but she helped him get a bigger place. But he couldn't even enjoy it
Mm.
because he died, and that's a true
Wow.
story. And I would refute anybody that have a problem with the fuck I said. Cause come up here, y'all could get your issue. Get your issue, and y'all could just challenge what I'm saying. Get your issue.
Mm. So what? So what was the feedback? I mean, when he passed away, did you get a lot of support and love
No,
from people?
no,
No.
no, I didn't. I got support and love for very few, but as so much people claim they love my dad, I did not get no. No, I didn't. No.
So where? So when I see the videos, when I see the pictures of the funeral, and I see the beautiful casket, and I see all of this beautiful stuff. Like, who is responsible for that? Then?
Who's responsible? You said the insurance policy is responsible.
Mm, okay. Now, I'm just saying, like, what mostly when funerals and things like that happen, people give flowers, people, give donations.
No.
There was no donations, no nothing.
If somebody got donations, I wouldn't know nothing about it because I didn't get shit. I didn't
Mm,
get a fucking dime. You know what I got a dime from? Once
what?
the funeral arrangements was over with, the leftovers that was left over to my son.
Mm,
Okay, so um, my daddy had two funerals,
wow.
one for the family and one for the moles. My mother made that possible because his sister was his power of attorney at the time, Linda Abney. She's resting in peace with him right now.
Rest
So
in peace.
my mother made sure it was had for a second funeral.
Mm,
So with that being said, uh, we ain't getting reparations. We ain't get shit. What was
mm,
left was from the goddamn funeral once we was done with everything, and it was up to my son because
mm.
my son was his beneficiary.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
that
deep.
tells people how close me and my father was. He didn't leave
Mm-hmm.
shit to me. He left it to my son. He left it to his grandchild, the grandchild that he always saw.
Mm,
Let's be clear.
wow.
And if anybody got an issue, they can come up here and we can have a conversation. Let's be clear. Because I'm not scared of no fucking body. I'm saying what I'm saying because it actually fucking happened.
Mm. What was some of the things, you know, you speaking on Mooseman grandson, what's some of the things that your father wanted for your son,
He
you
wanted
know,
him
and
to have
some
an
of the things he
education.
instilled in him.
He wanted
Mm-hmm.
him to have an education. That was his biggest thing. Education was
Mm.
key to him. He could give a fuck about anything else. You have to have an education in this fucking white devil world. Period. And that's what he used to say.
Wow. That's real right there.
And
You
if
know,
anybody got an issue, they can come up here.
yeah, I don't, you know, this is an interview, you know, just about your dad. This
But
you know.
like people always got something to say. And I'm just telling what I know. That's why I keep on iterating what was told to me and what I saw, what I've seen, what I've experienced. So if anybody got an issue, they can interview their ass and come on up here and we can have a conversation too. Interview or not.
Mm, that's real. That's real. You know, so what's some of you, the legacy your dad wanted to leave, you know, at the end of the day?
I can't
So
hear
we
you.
didn't
What you
get
say?
I said we didn't cover so many different things, you know, and you know we didn't talked about everything, him returning to the essence and everything. So let's just, you know, go ahead and close it out and talk about, you know, his legacy, the things he wanted people to know about him. You know, at the end of the day, what's the
Absolutely.
last things you want people to know about your dad? You know, all over the world, because this interview gonna be, this is for the books. This 10 years from now, you know, people is going to talk to you or see this, you know, and want some history and things of that nature to know about your dad. So go ahead and you know that comment. You don't even, you know, show that, no, you know, not, you don't acknowledge
Okay,
that,
because
but
I don't even know what
yeah,
you're talking
I
about.
don't even either.
You know what my
Hmm.
daddy said to me? He always used to say this to me. He said, Kat, he'll call me, he'd be like, was I a good dad? Was I a good granddad? And I used to say to him, of course, you're the best. He used to always say that to me, and then he's like, I just want to hear that from you because you was around the most with me.
Mm.
And I said, why do you be saying that shit to me? Like, why do you say that? He said, it's not. He said, Kat, don't cry. I'm just saying this because I want to hear it. So I would say, I said, Daryl, his name. That's his name. I said, you are a great father. You are a great grandfather.
Mm.
And what more you want me to tell you? He was like, I just want to hear it. The last time he told me that he was dead.
Mm.
So I guess his legacy to know if he was a good daddy and a good father. I can only speak on me. I can't speak on my siblings. I can't. I can speak on me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when he asked me this shit, I said, can you fucking stop saying this to me? Can you please stop doing this? We just was at your fucking birth. We had a whole. I said, Daddy, we just got kicked out the hospital on your birthday. Why are we talking about this? And next thing you know, he was dead.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So yeah,
Oh,
it hit different with me. I don't give a fuck
it
about
definitely
nobody else. This
did
shit
that.
hit different, way different with me.
Mm-hmm.
It hit
Do you mind?
very different.
What? But kicked out the hospital for celebrating his birthday, or kicked out for what?
What?
Kicked out out the hospital because you were celebrating his
we
birthday,
was
or
there
kicked
all
out?
day. They kicked our asses out.
Mm-hmm.
We was there from 10 o'clock in the morning all the way to damn to 1 o'clock. They residents at the house. They trying to get some sleep. They was like, y'all gotta go home. Y'all gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here. So that was the last time we had a happy time with my father. And next thing you know, he was there. And the last time I talked to my father, he asked me that. And the next thing I know, my father was dead. So the shit is so different with me. I don't care about nobody. I hit with them.
That's real right there. That's real.
So,
Oh man, that's heavy. I appreciate you coming on the platform and opening up.
And I appreciate you. I really do. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for giving me a voice for my daddy. And I'm so glad that you weren't trying to be, both guarded with, questions and stuff. Because people will be extra because they want to know all this other stuff. I'm not with that. I said if they want to know about real life gangster shit, they can they can hit them up. I'm not on that. And
That's
I'm
real.
glad you and we had our rapport. I appreciate you, and God bless you, and Allah, Buddha, whoever you pray to. And I appreciate everything you've done, and you are a shining star.
I appreciate that. And if you can just last question, just to elaborate on this, where did your dad get his name from? When did?
Because he looked like a goddamn moose. He'll tell you that. He'll tell you that. He said, I got a goddamn big ass nigga nose, and I look like a motherfucking moose.
Oh man, I appreciate you. I truly do. Shout out to your mom. Blessing to that queen.
Shout out to you, mama.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all opening up y'all life, and giving us the people, y'all memories and sharing y'all emotions and things that y'all know. Everybody go ahead and subscribe to Flacco Santana TV on YouTube. This interview, subscribe. That interview gonna be on Flacco Santana TV. Real talk, and it's all peace and love, sisters.
All is truly well, beloved, and thank you. And you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Okay.
You too. Peace.
Peace.
We asking everybody to get to the car. Please clear the lane, As they bring our brother through, please clear the lane, As the pallbearers bring our brother through, everybody clear the center aisle, please. Everybody hold fast, clear the center aisle for the family to bring our brother through. Everybody clear the center aisle, please. Okay. Everybody in the back there.
Mooseman! 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 Mooseman!